Howdy folks, Justin here, and today we are hopping onto the ladder with Factotum Mid Sorcerer. This is a deck that I tried to record with a version of it a couple weeks ago, and it just didn't feel right, didn't work out. So I went back to the drawing board, made a couple changes, and now I'm really excited to give it a go. And this is of course as close as I'm ever going to get to role playing Charmer on the ladder. So enjoy that too. Alright, we're playing against the letter W, the Red Mountain on Warrior. Alright, let's do this. We got the ring. We got some 2-drops. Notably, we do not have an activator for Steam Constructor, but I think that's okay. I think leading with Ald Veloth the Assassin, having the initiative, leading with Ald Veloth the Assassin, and then facing down maybe an opposing Barrowstalker or Windkeep Spellsword, and being able to block that with my Barrowstalker is pretty good. So... ooh, we have Karthspire Scout. Karthspire Scout. Well, I think that's still okay. We do have an activator now, and we got a couple of 2-drops. Let's see what happens. I'm going to give them the draw. They should be able to oppose most things, except they also have a Stormcloak Vanguard. So I guess as far as good news goes, we do have bodies on the board. We have a Frenzied Witchman to screw up combat math. Or we drop a couple of 2s. Huh. So, Doomcrag, I assume. Let's go with Toughness. And a Barrowstalker. I went up to 5 Magicka this turn. Interested to see what's going on here. Okay, Madness beckons. I can respect that. Let's see what kind of stuff we got. Stormcloak Battalion. Alright, so we're going to be able to push some damage here. We can drop one of these and this.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
So let's do that. And then just get dudes on the board. Now obviously with 6 Magicka, there's a lot of bad things that could happen to us. And we don't have a ton of board presence, we don't have a lot of pressure. We're going to need to rely pretty heavily on the top of our deck, as our opponent is already so many cards ahead of us. Icy Shambles is the card they grabbed. Okay, okay. Alright, well, I'm not sure what my opponent's doing, but the Moose here is a pretty great draw. Let's go ahead and swing like this, and then like this. Both of these guys could die, that's why I felt pushing damage over there like that was okay. Like I said, it's going to depend a lot on what we draw. If we can draw the Factotum Lord, the unique legendary, that'd be pretty great. Sure. Pushes 2 damage. Candlehearth Brawler is also in my opponent's deck. I'm just praying this is Singleton. Alright, well, we can turn on our Shulk Fabricant, which is good news. See what we get here. Shadow Shift, that pushes damage, draws cards, seems good. And Factotum, it's great. So we're going to go with more toughness. Alright. Now our opponents, we're getting cards next turn either way. Either via Moose or via Swing. They're dropping Gortwag and Colovian Trooper. So it looks like we're going to pick up 2 cards here, which is pretty good. Alright. Another cheap Factotum and another Moose, huh? Let's go ahead and get that off the board. See what pops out. It pops out over here and it's a guard. Well, that's fantastic news for our opponent. Factotums have not been in any way useful, I have to unfortunately report. We are running, things like the Frenzied Witchman, so that we turn on Dwarven Dynamos and Mechanical Allies pretty reliably, those being the Dwemer we have in the deck, alongside Yagram. Opponent's rocking Mudcrab Merchant. Okay. Well, it's on theme and it's reach, so whatever they gave us must have been pretty good. Or whatever they kept must have been pretty good. They have a Mummify. And a Devour. Wow. So we're actually pushing no damage next turn. We'll drop another one of these, draw another couple of cards. More Factotums. And more ramp for our opponent. And an Unstoppable Rage. I don't seem to be a problem. How did Galen get +2/+2? They rallied onto it twice. Okay. Well, let's guess I should drop the Merchant. I don't plan on pushing with it. Yeah, we'll definitely take Dagoth. Alright. And they summon another Mudcrab Merchant, so they're not even Singleton. I guess we knew that from the 2 Tree Minders. Some sort of classic mid-range deck. We do have a little bit off lethal here. We have, if we can push with all this, we'll have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 exactly, actually. So we'll see what happens. Sorcerer's Negation not likely to be enough, but it could be. Okay, they're digging. So no, like Odoving, for instance. They discard the Ambusher we so kindly gave them. Preserver of the Root. I think we still have lethal draws. Is Ancano enough? I believe so. Okay. Well, that's definitely a card. Fortunately, we dropped all the rest of our guys. And we're going to get OTK'd here. Unless we just remove stuff. And try to win on the back of Dagoth. So things they might have. The Red Year. They have Siege Catapult in their deck, which is kind of interesting. They have 10, 21, 23 on board. Dagoth. Obviously, we couldn't give them Dagoth because they could have played it because they've been ramping. Let's see what happens. An Unstoppable Rage on a Night Talon Lord would basically end the game. Is there any way our max magicka increases but next turn? Sure. Sure. It might be that we can still pull this off. Definitely looking for some kind of amazing, unstoppable rage. Huh, well, that gives us lethal. Well, what do you know? Well, we didn't get to play Dagoth there, but we did win against a really interesting kind of mid-range warrior deck. We'll be right back for a second one. That was, you know, a very interesting game. Alright, let's roll out a second game with Factotum Sorcerer. We kind of ran into the same problems that I had last time I tried to play Factotum Sorcerer, which is just, I didn't have good stuff at any point in the game. And you saw like how relatively weak the Factotums were even after playing multiples. I guess that we did get them into lethal range with the second Factotum, or with the Factotum Lord. No, actually not even true, because we had 9 damage, they were at 7, we put them down by 2 with the Factotum Lord. So, yeah, interesting. Alright, we have a Sorcerer mirror match. I'm going to keep the Sanitizer. Alright, so we have stuff here. I'll lead with the Mudcrab Merchant. And my opponent will lead with the Crown Quartermaster. Okay, well, it's cool to have something to oppose that. Or I lead with this. I lead with this, I can follow up with these. So I'm going to go and play this. Go Toughness. And unlike leading with the Barrow Stalker, it's not just a snap equip trade here for my opponent. Right. And we might be able to capitalize on that. Alright, Siege Catapult. Let's play the Mudcrab Merchant. We're taking Thorn Hist Mage here. We're going to play Barrow Stalker and Swing. And because they didn't trade, we get to keep our dude alive, which is pretty interesting. Okay. Alright. I think I'm into this. It's definitely possible that they turn this on next turn. I would say even likely. Oh. Okay. So this is an interesting one. We can just negation this. But I really want to play my Thorn Hist Mage. But I don't have anything to play alongside it. So what if I Shadowmare? That seems bad too. I'm not in a great position here. Except that my Thorn Hist Mage might survive combat with this. So I think I'm going to do that. Because I don't mind Sorcerers negating something like a ward creature that this hits. I mean, it could be huge. Like, for us. And after 2 Factotums, Assembled Conduit is now finally at vaguely acceptable stats. Okay, they have a dagger they can equip. Just a Corrupted Shade. Okay. Oh, okay. Hit the Corrupted Shade. Beautiful. So at some point they'll turn their dude on. Once again, though, we're just like so far behind in resources, right? Like unless we go moose into moose like we did last game, like I don't think we ever win. My opponent is making no effort to turn this troll on though, or this catapult. I guess I could have double Crown Quartermasters here, or maybe Mudcrab Merchants or something like that.
Watch yourself now.
Sure. So that is going to get out of control. They still have a dagger, right? It's worth keeping in mind. I think we want to push as much damage as possible. And I think we don't want to play our Barrow Stalker. Just dies to this for no reason. Also, you know, sends the message that, hey, we have something besides a 2-drop in our hand. They could negation this and then swing in. It drops down pretty small if they manage to negation it. This lane is kind of done for. So we need runner, good stuff. There's another Crown Quartermaster. Do they have a Harpy? Wow. Well, we can kind of wreck what's going on. Wow, really? Okay. This is 6, 12. Right, 6, 12. Plus 4. 16, we're 2 off lethal. So we're just gonna like not die. Push damage. Hit a prophecy, which is unfortunate. Yeah, that's not ideal. Harpy was like the worst thing that could have happened to us there. So we don't have lethal. They have 2 daggers. They're not using their daggers. They're going to turn on their catapult. There's a moose. We are still 1 off lethal. Okay. We could very easily just die here. That Harpy was a disaster, and we can't really punish their weird Blackworm Necromancer play. In fact, all it takes to die here is something like a, well, a lot of things. Yep. Yep. That got the buff, which is kind of huge. Also... What? What is happening? Alright, well, we keep having games like this, we'll be able to do pretty well with this, this deck. This just does not feel good. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here. Like, we won 2 in a row, but, like, I am not confident in this build of Factotum anything at all. So, there you go. Definitely, like the first game was definitely really interesting, and the second one, I don't think we should have won. Although, if they hadn't hit that Prophecy Harpy, maybe we would have deserved to win. I don't know. Anyway, good game, opponents. See you guys on the ladder.